Welcome at the presentation of the Big ID. The Big ID is the development of 3 state-of-the-art, very advanced recruitment applications. Applications which don't exist right now. I am going to take you on a journey from the very beginning 3 years ago until what we have right now. And at this very moment, the first 2 applications are being implemented in Russia, Ukraine, Slovakia, the Netherlands, and Romania. And I can promise you that these applications are really mind-blowing. They don't exist anywhere in the world at this very moment. And the reason we made these applications is that we just love recruitment. And we are crazy about innovation. We are crazy about being front runners in HR technology. And if you Google front runners in HR technology, well, this is the way it looks like. And this is what we are. But before we go there, I want to take you back to the year of 1961. That was the year that I was born. And on this slide, the red circle, you see a guy, and that is my father. And my father was a shoemaker. And my father didn't want to be just an average shoemaker in a small shoemaking sweatshop. No, my father was thinking big. And he thought that shoe repair can be much better, much faster, with a higher quality than it was done these days in 1961. Because shoemakers were just one guy in a small workshop repairing shoes. And my father had bigger ideas. He had a big ambition, a burning ambition to be the biggest shoe repair shop in Amsterdam. So what he thought is that I can do that better. So he bought the best possible machines in New York and shipped them to Amsterdam. So he had the best technology. And then he needed to have great people to operate that technology. But back in 1961, my father couldn't find great people because nobody wanted to be a shoemaker. They all wanted to be a manager. Already in 1961, people didn't want to have an operative job. They wanted to be manager or whatever. So my father thought, well, let me hire just guys from the street who have no opportunity to get a good job, and I will teach them just one small part of the job. So he teaches one guy stitching, the other guy gluing, and the other guy something else. Right? So he made an automated conveyor belt type of work process. So he improved the work process. He more or less automated it. And soon my father was able to repair many more shoes per person than if he would do it alone at a higher quality. So soon my father had a distribution problem because he had much more capacity than his small neighborhood could deliver him in the number of shoes to be repaired. So my father invented a very cool distribution system, and soon my father covered 50% of the shoe repair market in Amsterdam. 50%. So that means that he was innovating in a way which was very successful, right? And what he did in 1961, basically we are doing with the Big ID. But innovations are hardly accepted in the world. Many people will say, if you come with an innovation, is, oh, we tried it before and it didn't work, so you know, it won't work, so we will not do it. Or people will tell, wow, your proposal is so innovative, and unfortunately we cannot apply it because we We have no experience with it, so I'm sorry, it's too new for us. Everybody, anyhow, always say, yes, we like to innovate, so yes to innovation. But the biggest problem is people don't want to change. So you can forget that they will use your innovation. And other people will tell you, wow, this is such a good idea, such a good idea. So why nobody thought about it yet? And because nobody thought about it yet, we're not going to apply it. So if you want to have a successful innovation, you have to meet certain requirements. And I'll get back to you later on it, because I think the big idea meets all the requirements for a successful introduction of very cool state-of-the-art innovations, right? But first I want to explain to you why we do all of this. What is the why? What is our vision? What is our mission of Lugera, right? And the Lugera group of companies. Because we operate in 9 countries. We operate in 3 brands, which is Lugera GIT in the Czech Republic, and Adecco Ukraine and Adecco Russia, because we acquired those companies over the past years. So why do we do what we do? And well, it's our mission to help at least 75 million people to get a better job. 75 million. But so far, and we exist now 21 years, so far we only did 655,000 people. We helped 655,000 people to get a better job. So we still have to help 74,344,000 people to get this better job. And with the speed of what we are doing this now, we still need 2,300 years. So we're not going to be that old to manage that. So in order to reach our goal of 75 million people, we need some special tools, right? And these special tools are the big idea. And we can only achieve this because we are a company with an attitude. We are having an attitude. And the first aspect of this attitude is that we are help-driven. First priority is that we help job seekers to get the best possible job they can. We are a help-driven company. We are a company who is convinced that innovation is key. And we are a company who wants to be front runners in HR technology, and we have really cool HR technology already now. And with the big idea, we take a giant step forward into the future of recruitment. And the next months we are already implementing the future of recruitment, which is now available to you. To understand how valuable our applications are, is that you have to understand what recruitment is all about. So what is the core of our business? And the core of our business is that our recruiters and salespeople make a lot of phone calls. How many phone calls a recruiter has to do each month to be successful? 400. And that's a lot of time. How many emails a successful recruiter or a successful salesperson has to send each month? Again, 400 emails. And that takes a lot of time. How many interviews a successful recruiter in permanent staffing has to conduct each month? At least 80 interviews. And how many interviews a successful mass recruiter or a successful temporary staffing recruiter have to conduct each month? They have to conduct each month at least 200 interviews. And that takes a lot of time, as you can imagine. And guess what? how many candidates a permanent staffing recruiter doing 80 interviews, how many candidates will they place per month? Between 2 to 4. And if they're really good, between 4 to 12. So a lot of work, while the result is pretty small. And then every recruitment agency, they have a big database of people. And what is the percentage of all their work, of all their database? How much do they really place, and with how many candidates do they really work from all those hundreds of thousands of candidates in their database? Maximally just a 3%. So basically what a recruiter or a salesperson is doing is that they have a lot of activities. They need to do a lot of activities to be moderately successful. 400 phone calls, 400 emails, 40 interviews, 2 placements. Salespeople and recruiters, they cost the company in average around 8,000 euro per month. Right? It depends, of course, in which country you operate. But the salary of a person and the overhead expenses vary between 4,000 to 10,000 a month. An interview, to have an interview with one candidate costs between 100 euro to 500 to 1,000 euro. A sales meeting costs around 180 euro per interview, per meeting. And to make a successful deal, the average salesperson will need around 10 meetings and 10 activities. So the cost of one deal only for the salesperson is 1,800 euro. So that means that the entire process is extremely inefficient. Actually, I think that 97% of all the activities is a loss. 3% is real revenue. So if you could turn that around, so if you could make this 97% loss into 97% effectivity, right? It would mean that the entire recruitment effort, the entire recruitment activity is 33 times too expensive. Or we can increase efficiency 33 times. And that was the reason, that was the motivation for us to start working on the big idea. Because we wanted to turn this 97% ineffectivity into 97% effectivity and efficiency. We also found another interesting aspect, and that is that we found that all our recruiters and salespeople actually waste around 25% of their time. So from the 8 hours they work, if we are lucky, they spend 6 hours effectively, and they lose each day 2 hours of their working time, right? If we're lucky. I also have figures which show that 50% of all the time our people just lose and is wasted. So it means that we pay 50% too much on salaries, that we have 50% too much of costs. So what this means is that we are burning money. Every recruitment agency working in the traditional way is burning money, and it's burning loads of money. So we had to come up with the big idea. So I asked this wonderful, beautiful lady, whom I love so very much. I'm fond of her. I asked that lady to do a research. And this lady, she happened to be my daughter. I'm so proud of her. She did a research because she was finishing her graduate thesis at the sales and marketing faculty of a high school in Amsterdam. And she started to research the big ID. And basically her conclusion was that she found that what a recruiter or what a client really wants and what a candidate really wants. And those were two simple observations or conclusions. A company who has a vacancy wants to have that vacancy fulfilled within a day they have that vacancy. And that person, the candidate, starts to work the moment that they have the vacancy. So just in one click. And job seekers, what they want is that whenever they feel the need to change from job, that they want to have a new job, that they can apply to the perfect job just with one click. So clients want to hire the new person just actually in one click on the time and the place when they need it. And the job seeker wants to apply for a job and wants to have the new job exactly when they want it. And in the end, the big idea is just doing that. Now, when you want to have successful innovation, the innovation must be familiar for your target group. And it should not only be familiar, it should be understandable so that they really understand that they don't need any explanation to understand the value of this new innovation. And what is cool and what is actually paramount, what is important, that people don't have to change. That they don't have to change their attitude, that they don't have to change the way they think, right? Well, and that is the big idea. The big idea.online meets all these prerequisites, meets all these requirements for a successful innovation. And the big idea consists of STA, and that is a sales and talent acquisition application. It produces a long list for recruiters for any vacancy in a country. It's the new talent base. It's the alpha and omega for the full stack recruitment process. And it's the Guru works online. And that is actually the integration of everything. That is the new way of how recruitment will work. Now, we had these ideas. So what I thought is that I'm going to find a company who can help us to make this, right? Because we are a recruitment company. We know what we want, but we are not an IT company. We are not a development company. So I went to Bucharest and I spoke with a lot of companies, IT development companies, trying to find a partner who would like to develop it with us. And after half a year, we had to close the negotiations because we couldn't find any company. So I went to Bratislava to talk to the company who made our previous talent base. But they were not able to help us because they just didn't have the technology which was required for these 3 applications. So I went to Toronto and talked to the people from Job Science, a very good recruitment tool. And I asked them, could you help us, guys? You have this beautiful application. Can you help us to make our applications? And they said, well, you have cool ideas, but you know, we are not able to make this. This is so advanced that, you know what, if you are ready, if you have these applications ready, then we would love to help you with the distribution of it. So unfortunately, they couldn't do it. So I went to Silicon Valley, to San Francisco, and I thought, there I will find companies who can make these applications for us. And I have visited many companies, and there was not a single company who told me, yes, we can do it, yes, we will do it, no problem, we'll make it. They all told me, it's cool what you want, but it's impossible with the present technology. And I thought, what the heck? I'm in Silicon Valley. If they can't make it, then probably nobody can make it. So I went to Zurich to find companies there and to find investors, because I thought, if it's so difficult to make it, I will need much more money than I can possibly finance. So I went to look for companies who could finance us, and I couldn't find. I went back again to San Francisco to find investors for our company and to find companies who could develop it. And the more companies I saw, they all told me no. So I went to Los Angeles, also a big IT hub. And in Los Angeles, companies told me, no way, Jose, you can't make this at this moment. Just the state of technology is not advanced enough to make what it is you want. I went to New York to talk to companies. I went to the Talent Tech Labs. And I talked to those people and I showed the big ID, and they loved the big ID. But they said, no way, this is impossible. I went to Amsterdam to talk to people who could finance us and who could develop the big ID together with us. And I wasn't successful. And then I went back to Romania, to Bucharest, and there we wrote a tender for 40 companies and we gave them the input, and in the end we could select 2 companies, and these companies said, we like it, we can do it, and we will do it. And so we could engage 2 companies in Romania who started to develop it. It took us 3 years. It took me more than 100,000 euro only on hotel tickets and plane tickets to get where we are now today. And before we started to develop, we of course looked at all the possible applications which are now available in the market, because I thought I'm not the only one with the big ID. There are probably numerous of companies who thought about the same and they developed it. So we analyzed all the applications which we could possibly analyze. Of course, Talent Tech Labs was a big help for us because they do a constant survey of new applications. Right? So this overview, what you see now, is from Talent Tech Labs. So thank you guys for sharing this with us. And we looked at all those applications. Basically, we looked at around 1,500 applications. Then we took those applications back to around 50, which were really cool. And then we took those back to around 10 applications which are really cool, and then we found out that there are basically only 5 world-class applications at this moment in the world. And those 5 are the very best, right? And why all those companies, all those developers are not really able to sell their applications is the following problem. And that is that all those companies are IT companies. And although they have great IDs, IT people are defining it. And they are defining that for the people which you see on the right side. Those are recruiters. And they have a different mindset. And the short circuit between IT and recruitment is that although all those thousands of applications are really cool, they're brilliant, they're dynamite, but recruiters don't want to work with it because it doesn't exactly fulfill their needs, right? And that is why all those applications are actually not that really good, because they're not made for recruiters. And recruiters don't like to work with it. They're not made really for candidates from the perspective of a candidate. So that's why they don't work, right? So I told you that we have found 5 great applications. And that is Talent Rover, Bullhorn, Mindscope, Job Science, and our own present application, which is Talent Base. Those are the 5 best in the world. But those applications are like this beautiful new Range Rover. This beautiful new Range Rover has a lot of technology. It brakes automatically, it speeds up automatically, it drives by itself in a car jam, and it keeps the car between the white lines, so you can even let it go by itself for 500-600 meters, and then it asks you again to take over the wheel. It has a beautiful set of features. But you know, the same as with Bullhorn, Job Science, Mindscope, Talent Rover and our talent base, although it's new, although it's cool, it's already obsolete. It's obsolete, it's old-fashioned, it is history. Because this is what is possible today. This is a prototype car of Mercedes-Benz. The car drives automatically. So this car brings you to your work, you get out and you tell the car, make some money for me. And the car will drive as a taxi for Uber. And at 4 o'clock, the car will pick up your kids from school. And in the meantime, it will have done some shopping for you. And it passed Starbucks to get you a lovely flat white coffee and a beautiful donut. And then the car arrives at 5 o'clock at your office and you jump in and your kids are there and your coffee is there, but the donut is missing because your kids ate the donut, right? That is today possible. Well, and that is the big idea, you know. The big idea is automated, is doing and executing for you all what it is you want it to do. And whatever you don't want to do, the big idea will do for you. So let's have a look at the first application. That is STA. It's a sales and talent acquisition application. And basically what it does is that it makes a long list of your vacancy within a matter of seconds, right? And this is the first ID. This is the ID of STA in a nutshell. I made that in 2015. And the basic idea of STA is that it grabs all the vacancies from internet, it harvests all the CVs from internet, it matches them, and it communicates between the advertiser or the job promoter, between the candidate and between the agency, right? That's what it does. And of course, parts of this, they exist, but nobody has solved the communication process, the matching process. And the coolest thing of all is that it works in so many languages. That is amazing. And it works real time online. Right? And this is how we started to design it. So here you see the page that the designers or the developers sent it back to me, and I made my remarks, and we made hundreds of pages of this. And STA, if you upload a vacancy, you immediately get all the matching candidates, and it can communicate with all these candidates. If you upload a CV or your resume, it will immediately give you all the qualifying vacancies for you. And you can apply just with one click. Right? So STA gives a long list of candidates for your vacancies with one click. And if you have 300 long listed candidates, with one click you can communicate to all of them. And you can have those candidates apply within a second. So the entire communication process is automated. If you like, of course you can do it manually and you can do it semi-automatically. But the scope of STA is enormous. Then I would like to show you the output of STA. And if you can count with me, is that with traditional recruitment, in the traditional processes, you need 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 people to do what STA can do with one person. So what STA does with one smart recruiter, now you have to do that with 30 people. We thought. But STA has exceeded our imagination. STA has exceeded our expectations. And you know what we did as a trial in Romania is that on a certain day there were 57,600 vacancies in Romania. And we made a simulation, and what we found is that STA, within 3 days, could send to all those 57,600 vacancies long lists of candidates. We did around 500,000 of records or activities or actions. In 3 days, we covered all the vacancies in Romania, all the vacancies with long-listed candidates. Well, now you know what the impact is of STA. Now you see that with one person, with one salesperson, for example, you can cover the entire market in Russia, the entire job market in Russia, or in Ukraine, or in Romania, or in Germany, or France, every day again with just one person. Fully automated. You don't even need a person for that anymore. That is what I call innovation in recruitment. What's this? This is traditional recruitment. And you know what this is? This is the new talent base. This is traditional recruitment, a chaos, a big mess, inefficient. And this is the new talent base, a streamlined, well-organized recruitment process. And this was our first idea, what we thought, okay, a new recruitment application, a full stack recruitment application, right? The recruitment from Alpha to Omega, this is the way it should look like. And this is the way we make it, you know, in sweaty offices with bananas and a lot of laptops and a lot of talking and thinking. And then the development of the new talent base. And we have hundreds of these pages of the process. Every step is analyzed, and there are so many processes. And this is the way it will look like, right? And this is the new talent base. This is recruitment which you can do manually from the very first step of the briefing until the placement, until invoicing and contracts and everything it includes, right? And everything can be semi-automated or fully automated. So many processes go by itself. Because we found that 50% of the time of our people is lost on data entry. 50% is lost on data entry. And we said, we don't want that loss because, you know, we are a company with 400 staff. And if 50% of the time is wasted on data entry, which is not necessary, we lose every month 400,000 euro on salaries which are actually wasted. 400,000. So if you are a company with 400 people, you lose 400,000 a month. If you are a company with 40 people, right, you lose 40,000 a month. 40,000 euro down the drain. So the big idea and the new talent base take care of that. it reduces it. You will not have that loss anymore because you will work much more efficient. So you can do whatever you do now with 50 people, you can do later on if you implement all our tools. You can do it with just 10 people or 5 people. It's amazing. And that's the second application which we are already implementing, the new talent base. The third application we will do after that we are ready with STA and the new talent base, and that is that we will integrate everything. So the entire recruitment process, the talent acquisition, and more. And we call that the Guru Works Online. Well, what is the Guru Works Online doing behind the screen? Well, it is helping the modern recruiter to recruit, right? Because of course you will need a recruiter, but you don't need a recruiter so much anymore for the traditional recruitment activities. Because the modern recruiter will make candidate funnels and sales funnels on social media, on internet. And for that you need graphic design skills. And at this moment, for the new recruitment activity, we employ 5 people to do one thing, to make candidate acquisition funnels and sales funnels. So we need a graphic designer. We need a copywriter. We need a programmer. We need a digital marketing specialist. And we need a blogger, right? Because that is what is essential for the new modern recruiter. It's not calling candidates anymore, but it's going digital. And going digital means that you need to have the Guru Works Online. And it is our estimation that we will start developing the Guru after 6-7 months from now. And it will combine the function of what many agencies don't even do right now. And that is really the future of recruitment. All of this, it's our estimation, will mean that one person will do the job of 72 traditional recruiters and salespeople. One person will do this, this, and this on her or his smartphone. You don't even need a computer. So that's, ladies and gentlemen, that is the big idea. And then you ask, what's next? Because when we are finished with the big idea and when the new talent base will operate and STA will operate and when we will have the Guru Works Online, there is much more what we are going to do. And that is predictive recruitment. Predictive recruitment means that we will be able to forecast, to predict when a person would like to have a new job. And we will be able to predict what kind of job that person wants to have. And we will be able to predict when a company will have which vacancy before the company knows it. So that when an HR manager has a new vacancy, we already have the person for them who can already start working for them at the moment they have that vacancy. That's what we call predictive recruitment. And we can do that now already with the new talent base and with STA. We just need many millions of CVs to do data mining and analysis and to put machine learning in place, right? But we are able to do it already now, but we don't have enough data yet. But within a couple of months or maybe years, we will have a predictive recruitment application. So that you will have a new job the moment you like it, and a company will have the vacancy fulfilled the moment the vacancy is actual. And that is the future which we can already do now. Selection of candidates will go online and it will go 100% online. because the techniques are better and better and they outperform face-to-face selection. Right? There will be picture recognition. Borders and languages will be no issue anymore. And in the end, there will be the internet of recruitment and live integration. So what will the big ID address? And there is an untapped global potential. And what does that mean, an untapped global potential? Right? And I am inviting you, and I am inviting every company who would like to partner with us not to miss the future. Because the future is right here, right now, in the big ID, if you talk about recruitment. And I strongly believe that opportunities are like sunrises, and if you wait too long, you miss them. And we are constantly looking for partners who can help finance us, the big ID. The more we can invest, the faster the development will be, the more developers we can engage, right? We are looking for partners who can help us to implement the big ID in your country. And we want to apply or implement the big ID in every country in the world. So if you are interested, you reach out to us and you will partner with us in your country. And if you partner with us, you have to take into consideration that it costs you a lot of time from dedicated people from your company, and you will have to invest money in it, right? But what I'm going to show you right now is mind-blowing. I will show you how big the market is for the big ID. So here you see a chart, and here you see how big the global staffing market is. The global staffing market is 417 billion euro. In permanent staffing, temporary staffing and outsourcing. 417 billion euro. But look at this chart. It only services 2% of the market. So 417 billion euro is served by 2% of the market, right? And that 2% of the market, 169,000 agencies are competing in 2% of the market with 1.5 million recruiters and other stuff. So 2% of the market, 169,000 companies are competing. So that's a lot of companies in a little piece of the market. So I'm asking you, who takes care of the 98% of this market? Who is going to take the 98% of the market? Not this guy. Because this guy had gold. He had a market. He had shares in Apple and he sold it for $800 back in 1976. Right? He will not get and grab this opportunity. Right? But maybe you will. Maybe you will partner with us. And the ignored opportunity is that the global staffing market is now 417 billion euro. 169,000 agencies are battling for market share in just 2.2% of the market. Huh? That's cool, right? So if you look at who's battling the most successful, it's Manpower, it's Randstad, and it's Adecco. And they have altogether around 15% or something from the entire market, right? But you want to be this. This is the big ID. And you know, this guy is running faster than the other guys, and he's smiling, and he has time to enjoy the ride. So, if this is the market, and if Adecco is the market leader with just 5% of the market, right? And there are 169,000 people, and it's 417 billion euro. And actually, the market, the real stuffing market is 7,000 billion euro. 7,000 billion. And nobody is approaching that market. Nobody is dealing with that 7,000 billion. Or at least not a strong company. There is no vision at all at nobody. It's fragmented. And the big idea will address that 7,000 billion market potential. And we are going to get there. So, but will we get 7,000 billion with the big idea? And I think we're not going to reach that. Because with the present price levels, you only get 2.2% of the market, right? So it means that you can't serve this 7,000 billion euro market with the present price level. So you have to go down. But as you saw that we can do with one person what traditional recruitment companies do with 72 people, right? So we can gain a lot of efficiency. It means that we can lower our prices, so we can make our services accessible to every company which needs people. So that market in gross value is 7,000 billion, right? And nobody is serving that market. And that's why we want to serve that market. But we can't do it alone. We are extremely talented. We know what to do. We have the technology. But of course, you know, we are talented, we are cool. But we can only win some certain games. But we need, with teamwork, you know, to win a championship. We want to have the big prize. And that is why we are looking for partners. We are looking for partners in every country in the world. Partners who can dedicate time and who can dedicate money in the further development of our applications. And we are in a hurry. And we want to do it now instead of tomorrow. Because usually in recruitment, faster is better than slower. But although we are in a hurry, we take it step by step by step. So we are not aiming to get 100% of that 7,000 billion, right? But we think that together with our partners, we are able to get a 1% market share in the world the moment we can roll out our applications. 1% means 7 billion in gross margin, right? And of course, invention is not enough, you know? We have to have partners to commercialize things and to get them to the people. And that is why we need in every country great partners, you know, because you know the local market, you know the prices, you know the recruitment market, you know how the rules of the games are played, right? So imagine there are 169,000 agencies in the world. There are billions of people. And imagine that we, in the end, can achieve 20% of this entire 7,000 billion market. And if we can decrease our prices, we will get to a market of 138 billion euro or more, right? So I'm asking you, would you like to be Nokia, who had a beautiful product and Nokia lost from Apple, right? And then Apple had a great product and somebody else came. And that somebody else was Samsung because they thought we are going to do even bigger things. Well, I'm inviting you to be better every time again and to join us with the big idea. please contact me if you want to be our partner. You can become an investor, a financial partner, you can become a professional partner, or you can be both. We need great people with at least the same ambition as we have, because this is star quality in recruitment. Our applications, the big ID, which is STA, the new talent base, and the Guru Works Online, they are mind-blowing, they're groundbreaking, they're disruptive. They are innovation, the way innovation should be. We are now implementing these applications, and we take it now by ourselves, country by country by country. So be fast, don't miss out on this opportunity, because if you wait too long, we do it ourselves, or we do it through another partner, through somebody who took the opportunity. I hope you will be our partner. I hope you will contact me, and looking forward to receiving your message of yes, I want. Thank you, and welcome into the future of recruitment.